Hi, today I will be lecturing on chapter 1 and I'm recording this lecture as I promised. So you can access it at your own free time, but please make sure that you access and listen to chapter 1 before you study chapter 2. Okay, now in chapter 1, first let me go over the study guide, the topics that we would be covering in chapter 1 and the topics that you would need to know about from chapter 1. We would start with the definitions of business intelligence, then we would talk about the components of BI. We would look at the different components, the business analytics, the business performance management, the user interface, which is the dashboard. Then we would talk about the 5 styles of BI. We would talk about some of the benefits of business intelligence, some of the business value of BI applications, and then we would also look at what is online transaction processing versus what is online analytical processing. Okay. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm available online from 11 to 12:15 for this class. If I have, as per the syllabus, if I have a chapter to lecture on, I will lecture on that chapter. I will record it and I will post it to the website for the class, which is on my Blackboard. If I'm not scheduled to lecture for a chapter, I will still be available from 11 to 12:15 every day. I'm not every day, on every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then I would be answering your question on any assignment. If you want me to explain any of the assignments, I can do that also. Okay, so I will start with definitions of business intelligence, and for that I will use the PowerPoint for chapter 1 as a support. Okay. So let me get into the PowerPoint for chapter 1. Okay, so what is BI? BI is business intelligence. It's an umbrella term, or you can think of it as a framework for decision support. Okay, now business intelligence is basically used to analyze complex information about an organization and its competitors. Please note the term, or note these two terms, analyze and complex. So it is about analyzing data, okay, which is not always simple, complex data about the organization and its competitors. So what do we do basically with the data? We collect, organizations, they collect billions of records of data. What do they do? What do we do with the data? BI provides us with a way of analyzing those data to find out information about the organization. So what am I going to do with that information? That information will help me to make decisions. And what would those decisions help me? By which way? The decisions would help me to help the organization improve its performance. You all know that all organizations, they strive to improve their performance, to remain competitive so that they can beat their rivals, so that they can outperform their rivals. Okay, so the main thing, the main objective is performance improvement, improvement in improving performance, and how they can do it with the data that they have. Okay, so they can analyze the data to find out information. That information will help them to make decisions, and then decision would help them to improve their performance. Okay, so make sure that you have noted that BI is about analyzing data, and also which is complex, and the main goal is, main objective is improving the performance of the business. Okay. And so it is used very heavily in planning and decision making of organizations. Now next we would talk about the components of BI, and that basically involves the architecture of BI. And a BI system, which is business intelligence system, has 4 components. Okay, a data warehouse, business analytics, business performance management, and a user interface. What is a data warehouse? Data warehouse is basically the place where the organization stores the data. Okay, it's a huge, humongous database where the data is stored. So it is the source where the data is stored. Okay, then we have stored the data. Now what do we do with the data? We perform business analytics. What is meant by business analytics? It's a tool or a collection of tools, and many of these tools you will learn or use in this class hands-on. It's a collection of tools for analyzing the data in the data warehouse, for manipulating the data in the data warehouse, and for mining the data in the data warehouse. Okay, so after we store the data in the data warehouse, we need tools to be able to access that data and analyze that data, and business analytics help us to do that. Okay, as I told you, everything is about performance of the organization. If after all this you don't see any improvement in performance, then basically it's a wastage of resources. Okay, so business performance management is another component of business intelligence, which helps us to monitor and analyze the performance of the organization. And finally, user interface. User interface is basically used for visually presenting hotspots in data. Okay, and an example of user interface would be dashboard. Dashboards are very popular these days. Dashboards are has a lot of advantages. And what are dashboards? Dashboards are used for visually presenting critical data for executives to view. Visually presenting critical data, okay, allows executives to see hotspots in their business units. And what do they do by looking at those hotspots in their business units? They investigate further, okay, to exactly identify problems and their causes. Now, if you identify the problem first, then only you can solve it, right? And dashboards basically help them to easily identify problems in the critical data. So once they are aware of it, the executives are aware of it, they would look at it and they would find out solutions for it. Using different colors, for example, red for danger, a business manager can see in real time, for example, delivery times are slowing, or when the delivery times are slowing, and they can immediately find the sources of the problems and also evaluate what-if analysis. Okay, so dashboards are very popular these days. Dashboards are for finding out hotspots in a business unit. It will draw managers' attention, and managers will solve it. Okay, find out what is causing that hotspot, and they will solve it. Okay, we will talk about the styles of BI now. There are 5 styles of BI. MicroStrategy, this is a BI vendor, and we would have MicroStrategy software. We would use MicroStrategy software in this class to work on assignments. MicroStrategy distinguishes 5 styles of BI, okay, and it offers tools for each style. What are these 5 styles? And we will talk more about it in our data warehousing chapter, which is chapter 8. One is report delivery and alerting unusual situations. Okay, report delivery of reports, various kinds of reports, and alerting when there is an unusual situation. Enterprising reporting using dashboards and scorecards. Then slicing and dicing of data using cube analysis, and we will do slicing and dicing in this class. We will do enterprise reporting. Okay, then ad hoc queries and statistics and data mining. Most of these styles we will be doing hands-on in this class. Benefits of BI. The major benefit is the ability to provide accurate information many times in real time when needed. Okay, real time accurate information. There are lots of benefits. One is that it is faster, it provides faster, accurate reporting. Because the reporting is accurate and faster, it improves decision making. It also helps improve customer service because we can access the data real time and find out what the problem is with the customer and we can solve it. And all of these lead to increase in revenue. Okay, business value of business intelligence, analytical applications. Lots of, without business value, of course, the technology would not last. Why would you invest in that technology if it does not add to your business value? A lot of things can be done. I would ask you to look at table 1.3 for this. I think it's in page 24. Some of the business value that we can think of is we can personalize customer relationships, CRM, target customers based on their need. If you can find out information about a particular customer, we can target customers on the basis of their need. We don't have to mass target, wasting money. Okay, if you are selling a high-end product, you would not target people who don't earn enough to buy that product, right? So we can target customers on the basis of their need. We can quickly, because of this alerting system, okay, we can quickly determine fraud. Event-driven alerts are very useful in detecting frauds, and most of the credit card companies, they heavily use this kind. For example, last year I was visiting Mexico. I charge my credit cards always from the US. So when I was in Mexico, my cards got charged several times. They immediately called me to tell me that my card is being charged from Mexico and if I'm traveling there. So it's automatic. It's a predictive analysis. They have predictive analysis models and they automatically detect. This is called automated decision making also. They automatically detect if something unusual is happening and they have a way of alerting their customers. They can also analyze data and find out who are most likely to leave, and they can prevent loss of customers by taking care of their needs. Also, they know how to interact with customers or the communication, what is the best media, like what is the customer preference on communication, phone, email, instant messaging, whatever. So there is a lot of business value and benefits of BI. The next thing that I would like to talk about is online transaction processing versus online analytical processing. We have assignments on online transaction processing and online analytical processing, and I would like you to know what is the difference between OLTP and OLAP, online transaction processing and online analytical processing. Online transaction processing is use of information system to handle a company's routine ongoing business activities through recording data. Say for example, ATM transactions or customer orders in an e-commerce site. So OLTP handles a company's ongoing business transactions, okay, through recording data. So what would be an OLTP report? An OLTP report would be providing information about a particular transaction. For example, who purchased a particular product? That's an example of OLTP report. Then what is WOLAP or online analytical processing? This is the use of information system to analyze historical data obtained through ongoing business activities for decision making. So OLAP is basically using or analyzing data collected through OLTP systems for decision making. Okay, once again, OLTP is just collecting, OLTP is just handling ongoing transactions and recording that data. OLAP is much more than that. OLAP is analyzing the data that has been collected through the transaction processing systems and analyzing that data for decision making. So OLAP reports would be assisting end users in understanding why particular business events have occurred. Example would be what are the total sales for each product, in which month did most of the sales occur, etc. Okay. So this is basically chapter 1, business intelligence. We talked about the definitions of BI. We talked about the 4 major components of BI, which is data warehouse, business analytics, business performance management, and user interface, an example being dashboard. And then we talked about 5 styles of BI. We talked about the benefits and the business value of BI, and we talked about OLTP versus OLAP. Okay, now I will post this lecture in the Blackboard page, and as you know, I'm available from 11 to 12:15. So I will be answering questions if you have any on assignments or on anything on the course or even on the chapters, even on the concepts. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm online from 11 to 12:15, and if I have a lecture to deliver, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'll just stay online and I'll answer questions if you have any.